Hi, it's me, Anna from the Heartbeat Hive. And today I want to talk about my fences. And I'm hoping that by doing this, someone out there, maybe it's you, will gain something from my vulnerability. When I started my business, I really wanted to present the business side, right? And there's all these opinions and advice coming from the outside. You should post this. Don't put personal stuff up there. Show them how much things cost, which is great. Tell them what you're selling. Tell them what you do, and tell them often. So I did that. But there's something that's been missing. I have not been showing my art, my music, my creative lifestyle. Not in the way that I would have liked. I did in my stories for a few things, but yeah. So I'm just going to read something that I wrote while I was reflecting on this vulnerability and the change that an artist must make in their life if they want to truly gain this sense of satisfaction and amplify their well-being, which comes through creating the art. That's my personal experience. So I wrote this when I was reflecting on that. My fences. I used to hold myself from others for fear of being rejected and ending up alone. Then I opened because I realized that never opening is actually being on your own and alone. And so I surrendered to this desire to never be alone and channeled it into the people I love, the music I make, the art that I create, and the coaching that I do, and the beauty that I see in the world. Without a channel, my love was spread thin and attention was spread thin. And the quality of both of these things suffered. When I returned to my own energy, the quality gathered itself into everything I experience now and everything I do. It's that channeling that was missing. And I know that many people can identify with this if you are, neurodivergent or whatever you want to label yourself, that's fine. We all have our energy spread in different ways, regardless of labels, because that's part of life. Looking back, it makes so much sense that I gave my energy to everything outside of me, which was how I got burnt out. When I draw from inside of me, it's so abundant and never ending. When I draw from the outside, it drains me. And it's not to say that other people don't enhance my life by any means. They really make it rich. But when I'm seeking the external for an answer, for approval, for validation, for anything that has to do with any type of metric, do they like my art? Do they like my music? All of those things are secondary to me loving the process of creation. So I had to return to unity and oneness through being present and making music and art and working on my business, working other jobs. That's okay too. And when I returned to the unity part of knowing that I will die with my own thoughts, and so I better make my life pleasant and those thoughts more positive, I start to feel a sense of peace with everything and everyone when I think of unity, when I suspend, this belief in separateness. That separateness is what keeps us feeling like we're alone, if you really, really want to break it down. But when we remember that we're all connected, and for creative people, the connection can happen very quickly when we experience art, any type of art, from a beautiful meal to a painting to a piece of music to a beautifully designed garden, things like this. That sense of oneness can happen so quickly if we open our eyes to it. We open ourselves and our senses to that unity. So I had to choose to surrender over and over and over in a multitude of ways. And when I chose not to try to control things, but to intuit and flow with things, my life improved. My doubt became less because I know I can choose what I want, and because I'm wealthy with ideas and energy. Most of all, a yearning for something beyond this world, while also being in this world. And that right there is what many of us struggle with or contemplate, right? It's a very good thought to reflect on. How do we operate in this world while also dreaming and creating our reality of things beyond this physical world? So art and music is like that for me. It comes from a totally different place, but then I have to be, or choose to be, the channel through which it flows. And flow is very much about that for me. And that's why also some people talk about flow in the way of spirituality. And flow does not discriminate. Flow can happen in many different ways. But my goal as a flow coach and creative, consultant and creative person is to talk about these things in relation to creativity. And if you are a spiritual person, then this will make a lot of sense. If you're not a spiritual person, but you understand creative flow, then it is similar to what you might experience or feel in a spiritual way. It is an essence that is amazing and satisfying and fulfilling and almost indescribable at times. Like words are not going to do it justice. So I encourage you to think about flow and how it relates to you personally in the context of your life. And then I have some questions that I wrote for you. So if you are making art for other people, take a moment to ask why. Are these reasons sustainable for your well-being? Is your well-being the last priority in this creative equation? If you are making art for yourself, but you are worried about what other people will think, take a deep breath, take a moment and ask, why are those outsider thoughts mattering to you? Are opinions more important than your own joy and sparks? And for those of you who have the answer of, nope, they are not more important, yay, you're on a great path. It's a relief once you can release this external part of the equation as far as why you're creating. Now, we can create from the purity of ourselves and then share it with the world, which brings me back to the beginning. I haven't been sharing my art with you, so I will be trying to do that more often here. And the byproduct of that sharing is, it requires us to be very vulnerable But the byproduct of that vulnerability are the people who will appreciate you being bold enough and courageous enough to share yourself with them, your art with them. And in turn, it could spark them to create, them to feel something they've never felt before, or they have felt before but could not articulate, could not reformat into a different form because art isn't their forte. And in this way, the arts are very fulfilling. They have extreme purpose for those who do not know how to create art. So I want to remind you, creative people out there, that you are very, very important to this world. And you do not have to make art for other people. But when you decide to share it with the world, it is a very, very beautiful thing. And I appreciate you. And I'm sure that many, many others do. So don't pay attention to the trolls or the haters or any type of numbers. Just keep making your art and sharing it whenever you feel compelled to. But keep making it and creating it because you enjoy it and it makes you feel good. Now, the last question. If you used to make art or music or whatever the creative practice you used to have is gone and you've stopped, take a moment to remember. How did it feel when I was creating? How did it feel inside my body? What were my emotions? What did I love about it? Not the external part, but the essence of creating. What did I truly love about it? You are worthy of every minute of giving to yourself through time dedicated to your creative life. You are so worth it, and I hope this message has helped someone out there. I look forward to seeing your art, and comment if you enjoyed this video and want more of this type, and more of my artwork. Okay, bye.